Okay, part 2 for the Christmas fireplace. I'm gonna go ahead and start the grout lines for the brick, and I got a couple files here. I'm gonna go this route, and a wire brush. This is from Dollar Tree, super cheap. You get a pack of 3. So if you don't have any power tools, router, Dremel, or anything like that, this is gonna be the way to do it, and this is the way I'm gonna do it for this video. So I have this really coarse file, and then I have this round file that I'm gonna try out also. And there's the metal brush. I've already gave it a test run on a test piece, and it seems to work okay. So I'm gonna put this on time lapse, and I'm gonna get all these grout lines done. It's going pretty easy, so don't be afraid to do this. This is my very first time, and it's looking pretty good. The key is this brush. You got to get one of these brushes. It's looking really good. Just make sure you use that brush, and it keeps all of your grout lines consistent. Everything looks good. It's nice and consistent. Okay, so now I've got to get all this debris blown off of here, and then I'm going to come through all this grout, and instead of gray, I'm going to go white, because I really want the red to pop. So I think with the white grout lines, it's going to look the best. So that's next. Get everything painted white, or just your grout lines white. For the mantle, I went through and sanded it fairly smooth on the outer edges and just hit the top and rounded it just a hair. And the top is not going to be seen because stuff's going to be sitting on top of it for decorations. So just get a Sharpie now, and I'm going to draw out some wood grain, and then I'm going to go back over it with my soldering iron. You do not have to do this step. You can just simply paint this thing brown or black or gray or whatever color you decide right now. So you don't have to do this, but I'm going to do it. So I'm just going to draw like some knots in the wood here. Okay. Just kind of draw some. Okay, I'm really exaggerating the lines, but it's gonna look good once you paint it and get everything textured in with the black and the light brown and dark brown. Just do the same over here on the edge, and I'll just follow these lines. I think we'll go right here with something kind of like that. And then over here. And that should be good enough. Now you can go through and you can kind of make some worn, damaged areas with a file, or even just press in with your finger. But we're going to go over this with the soldering iron now. Make sure you do this part outside or in a well-ventilated area. I have a nice breeze here today, so the wind's just blowing right past me here. Go as deep or as shallow as you want. Mix it up, and it'll be just right.
Okay, now just continue on down and it'll be looking good.
Okay, for the mantle, I just did this burnt lumber on the whole thing. I just did the inside of the foam. I didn't worry about the top of the wood. You're never gonna see it. And I just did the whole thing in the burnt lumber. So now I have this deep brown, which is quite a bit lighter than the burnt lumber. And I'm gonna dry brush it. I've got all the grain going long ways that we made here, and I'm gonna dry brush against the grain just to pull out some highlights. So I'm gonna get some of this deep brown in here. And I just got this piece of wood here to do my dry brush on. So not a whole lot here. Just come back and brush it on your wood. Get a nice, fairly dry brush. And then you're just gonna come across the grain, very lightly. And you can hit some spots heavier than others and vice versa. It's not going to take a lot of paint to do this, for the look that I'm going for anyway. That is exactly what I want. I'm not going to do any other colors to this. If you really wanted to make it look more realistic, in these knots, you could do some black, and then you could do another lighter coat of brown on top of the brown I have here, but this is all I'm gonna do. So I just gotta do the two edges, not gonna do the top, and then I'm gonna get to painting the red. For painting the brick, I'm using this scarlet red. This is from the Dollar Tree, and they have this in abundance. I have my bowl from Dollar Tree, and I have some cleaning sponges. I've got the Brillo ones. These work really good, or I'm sorry, I haven't tried the Brillos. I've tried these Scrub Buddies. These are both from Dollar Tree. This one works really good. I do want to try this one. That's a little less coarse. So, get the ones with the green backing. That way you've got something nice to hold on to for your hand, because you're just going to get this all wet with the paint. And then I'm just doing a dab, like a dabbing technique. So I'm going to try this Brillo. I know the Scrub Buddies one works great, but we'll get going on this here. Got a little red paint on my hand. Okay. So, I'm just pouring it in the bowl. You're going to need quite a bit. Just going to take my fresh sponge here and dip it in the bowl. Dip it in the paint like so. You can come back and rub some off. You can do more of the brush if you want, or the sponge if you want to, and rub it off. And I'm going to start with this. It's going to use this up really quick because there's not much buildup on here, but I'm simply going to go around on the brick with the sponge and just fill it in with paint. And just be real careful on the edges, on the grooves for the grout lines. Don't press too hard, because then the paint will roll down in there, and then you'll have to come back with some white. But if it doesn't look perfect, that's fine. If you have brick at home or somewhere around your neighborhood, stop and look at it. None of the brick is perfect. So, just like this, I'm just dabbing the paint, soaking it up quickly. And you can rub it off here like I showed you, or you can leave some buildup on there. And that's all I'm gonna do. All the way around this thing, being real careful on the edges for the grout lines. I'm going to see how this Brillo works at the grout lines, because the Scrub Buddies one works really good. It just happens to, once you start pushing on it like so, it just happens to throw a little bit more out than I would like. So this one here, Brillo pad actually seems to be working pretty good. So I might just stick with this Brillo pad. That's okay. If you can't get the Brillo ones, grab the Scrub Buddy brand from Dollar Tree. It's just a little more coarse on the texture. And I've also found that you can come through on the edges. If you get most of the paint off of your sponge, you can slide it across the edge like so. But then you need to come back in and square your sponge up and lightly press it to get a nice clean edge and get it filled in real good. Now you're gonna have a lot of places where this foam is showing little white specks everywhere. Just roll with it like that. It looks fine like that. If you need it to be perfect, you don't want any little white areas showing, add more paint or let it dry and come back and do another coat. But by the time you get done doing this, you're probably not going to want to do another coat. This looks really great, but I do need to find another method that is quicker, because coming through and doing all these bricks does take up a little bit of time. But this is how you will paint your bricks. Just like that, all the way down and all the way across. And it actually looks really good once everything is done. So I'm going to get this all painted, and then I will do the final reveal and put this thing together. So this thing is looking pretty good. Like I said, it's going to an elections office. I got this stuff from Dollar Tree and just used my Cricut to print out some little stickers. So I made the Santa Mel, the ballot box, put elections on the building and vote here on the sign. Hot glued those on. It's looking pretty good. I've got the back situated how it goes. I went ahead at the top here and used a couple of sheetrock screws because the thumbtacks were just popping out. So I just threaded them in by hand. They're really easy to do. On the bottom down here, I just hot glued a piece of plastic to the bottom frame, and then this just slides down on there with the 2 screws up top to hold it in place. I've got toggle bolts going through each column to the centerpiece to hold the centerpiece on there. And I hot glued some washers to the inside of the column, and then also the brace for the inside piece on both ends. That way the toggle bolts don't dig in to the foam, and it keeps everything nice when you thread it together. For the top here, my thoughts, I have a couple of pieces of old credit card that I've bent into a 90. And what I'm gonna do is glue it on the bottom side with a tab sticking up. So you can just take a couple thumbtacks and stick that to the wall, just so the top is a little more secure. It's very sturdy when it's up against the wall, but this is just gonna help keep everything nice and tight on the top. So I gotta get this thing decorated, get the lights down here, possibly some fake logs, and this thing will be ready to go to the office. I've got a little bit of touch-up paint to go where everything merges together. I'm gonna do that right now and get that done. All right, if you want some fake birch wood, I went to the Dollar Tree and I bought a poster board, and I cut it up into 3 sections. I got some old white pool noodles here. What I'm gonna do is roll this up around the pool noodle, and I'm gonna glue it together. And then I'm just gonna print out some black stripes like birchwood has and glue it on here. Maybe even use my Cricut to print some out on some black sticky paper and just stick it on here. But that is how I'm going to make my fake birchwood. So we'll see just how good this stuff sticks to pool noodles. Got this new Go Ganova cordless hot glue gun, and I'm loving it. It definitely puts out some piping hot glue, so be careful. I've looked all over for some fake birch wood. Amazon's about the only place I can find it. Walmart shows they have it, but it's shipping 3 days, 3+ days. Amazon, you can have it here in 2 days. Some sites even 1 day. But thought I'd just make some. Extremely hot glue coming out of this thing. That hot glue gets so hot, it literally just melts into whatever you're trying to glue. So, I think this will be a good method to making some fake birch wood. Alright, so I found this good stencil here on Google. I just typed in free wood stencil, and I came across this one right here. So I saved to my desktop. Then I loaded it up to the Cricut canvas. Okay, I got some of this vinyl material from Dollar Tree. Get any color you want at Dollar Tree. I had this red, so since I got the white fake wood log, I think I'm gonna do the wood grain in red just to keep it all kind of Christmassy colors. So I'm gonna load this into the Cricut. Actually, we go here to make it up top. And I'm within my ranges here of the 12 by 12 pad. Hit continue. Da, 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 da. And let's go now. No. Okay, come to vinyl. Click it. And now I just go right over here to my Cricut. Load it up. Feed it in. And press go. Hopefully this works. I've searched all over for wood stencils, and you can get them locally. I found them at Lowe's and Home Depot, but they're a little pricey. So this is gonna save you some money, and you can do any color you want. So go ahead and make it yourself. So I got my wood pile done here. I think it looks pretty good with the red. I glued them all together. And I got these little frosty lights from the Dollar Tree. I'm gonna glue those all on here, just gluing on the plastic frosty part. I'm not gonna get it on the wire, even though they've just hot glued the wire to the frosty. And that will be my lights. I got some rope cut. Tie a rope here and a rope there, and then I will throw it in the fireplace, and that will be it. I did glue some bows on the columns, give it a little character. Those are from Dollar Tree also. Got my little election town because this is going to an elections office. Got the wood in there with the lights on. I'll go ahead and kill the light here. Get a little look with the lights off. I think this thing turned out fantastic. Like I said, if you're in a house with no fireplace or an apartment or something like that, and you need a portal for Santa to get in and deliver those presents, this right here will definitely just wow any children over, and really anybody coming over to visit. They're gonna be like, wow, this is great. And offices also. So this is going to an office. They're gonna have it on display, and then when they have their Christmas party, they're gonna take it to the other office and then bring it back. So yeah, it's really easy to build. A little time consuming painting the bricks, but Like I said, if you go through and just paint everything white and then tape off the grout lines and then paint everything red, then you can just rip the tape off. It'll be much quicker than this painting job. But all in all, really simple, really easy, and you don't need any power tools to do this. Very budget friendly. Other than the foam and the little wood structure inside the bottom, everything else is from Dollar Tree. So inside those bricks is inside the wood is pool noodles from Dollar Tree, poster board from Dollar Tree. If you're looking for a really great DIY Christmas decoration, something that's going to wow your kids, wow your family, wow your friends, put it in the office, this is an excellent route to go. You can build this. It's very affordable. And if you need someplace to put your elf on the shelf, right here, put your elf on the mantle. So hopefully everybody liked this one. Please leave me some comments on this. I'll try to help you out all I can if you run into problems. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Hanukkah, whatever you're celebrating. I hope it's a great one. Thank you.